Namaskar, hello, and a very, very good evening. In today's episode of Shona Kotha Kotha Shona, I have finally been able to have the one who ensured that the conversations began. She is an iconic person because she ensured that Senko Gold and Diamonds, a brand which was only perhaps for the luxury, became a brand for all. It gives me immense pleasure to celebrate on this very special occasion of Women's Day the visionary, the leader, director, head of marketing and design, Joita Sen, to this episode. Thank you so very much, ma'am, for your precious time.
Thank you, Rupsha, for inviting me and having me here today.
Ma'am, the first thing first is that we would all like to wish you a very happy Women's Day. It's a very special day, and celebrating you is really an honor because we all see the way you have ensured that Senko is a brand which is just not for the ones who are chasing the gold and the diamonds and the platinum, but also for the ones who love to just feel good by walking into your brand, your store, and collecting a little gossip. Even the conversations that you've opened for everybody, we thank you on behalf of the world of people who would like to thank you.
Thank you, Rupsha. You've been really kind in your introduction, and it's not me really, it's my customers who I really thank. And it's because of them that I get the inspiration to do what I do.
Perfect. And today being International Women's Day, would love to know that because I've had little conversations with you, the influence of your grandmother in your life, the woman who definitely has a lot of stories which are there with you. Today, because it's a very special day, would you like to tell us something that really inspired you about your grandmother and the way she has always been an inspiration?
Yes, my grandmother in her generation was a person who was very creative, and she was extremely innovative also. And the best part is she always taught herself whatever she loved to do, her hobbies. Today we see so many different types of candles. She herself in those days used to make candle, roses made out of candles. In fact, when I got married for my trousseau, she made roses out of butter, and those were all things which she learned on her own. It was self-taught. It's not like she attended classes or anything. Then at every stage in my life growing up, my grandmother always dabbled in something different, whether it's from stained glass etching, and and also when technology came in, email, she was the first one to embrace, because she belonged to a generation of writing letters to her cousins, to her relatives, corresponding so that they kept in touch with each other. So when it came, she wholeheartedly embraced technology. In fact, I remember she even had an ice cream making machine back in those days. So whether it's creativity, whether it's technology, or even world politics. So I remember I would spend hours with her, and she would discuss everything under the sun with me. So that's how my formative years have been. So I'm incredibly grateful and thankful for my grandmother and her influence, that she introduced me from classical music to creativity to food to technology, everything. So my interest is because as a young girl I've been exposed to so much by her.
Would love to know her name and what you would call her and how would she address you.
So I called her Dida, and she would call me Bhuni. So her name for me was also very unique and different.
Great. You have a lovely sister, you have a mother, and all of you all make such a powerful family. And of course, I think the men in the family are also our constant motivation and inspiration. You're born into a family which is business. You are into a family which is absolutely a business-oriented family with the Boro Madam and everybody. So all the women around you, how do they influence and inspire you every day? Watching your mother, your sister, all the women around you, how do they influence you?
I've been truly blessed by God, because my mother is a great manager. So growing up, I have seen how she's balanced every aspect of family life, from running the home to our schedules, everything, and the methodical way she planned everything. I've learned management from my mother, especially how to manage time and things efficiently. So, efficient management is what I've learned from my mother. Then, when I got married, my mother in law, she was the first woman in the family, in the industry to step out, encouraged by her father in law and mother in law to go and help my father in law. So, she really inspired me also to participate in the business. She's taught me a lot about things in the business, how things are run, how things are done, so all that. And my sister, of course, she's my sounding board, so anything that I need to do, and if I have anything that I need to run by someone, my sisters are that. And not only that, my sister herself is a powerful businesswoman in her own right, so naturally the advice and suggestions she gives me are very sound and practical. Then my aunt, she's also a very efficient person, and she does a lot of analysis and in-depth thinking, so that has helped me to also observe and analyze critically things around me. So the different women in my life have really contributed to my being who I am and how I conduct myself.
Because you went to one of the most prestigious institutions, schools in the world, La Martiniere for girls. Do you think that if you did not go to an all-girls school, would that have changed something in you, or you feel blessed to have been placed there? If you look back, what would you say?
Of course, I'm very grateful to my parents that they put me into La Martiniere, because the kind of exposure I got, my teachers were all fantastic, and it's given me a platform which probably has I wouldn't have got anywhere else. And La Martiniere is a very well balanced school, so they encourage you to study as well as to extracurricular activities, which very few schools really do. It's not just academic heavy. So that of course helped me in my outlook to life, that balancing not just work but also other meaningful activities in what you call personal growth. So that my school has definitely contributed a lot towards. And I cannot say about any other school, because I'm very grateful to my school for whatever they've taught me. I am here because of that.
Excellent. Because you are a legacy yourself. How has the definition of success changed, or has it remained constant for you? You are such a successful entrepreneur and a businesswoman. So, how has the definition changed, or has it remained constant?
Success is a very relative term, you know. I mean, I don't know. I mean, people, you are saying successful entrepreneur. Thank you. That does encourage me a lot. But to me, I just do what I enjoy doing. I have fun. I love to innovate. I love to listen to my customers. I love to provide solutions to what they need. And I think that's what gets me going every time. And I don't know, success means that what you've set out to do, have you achieved it or not? But then, the time brings change. The only thing constant in life is change. So I don't know, success keeps changing, because every time you're chasing a different end point, you are chasing some thing different, a different goal every time, because the goal just keeps changing. So I don't know, success is actually very fluid if you ask me.
I must say that you are somebody we all look up to, the way you manage your professional life, balance your personal life. As a mother, when you're a mother and you're running everything yourself, how do you balance it? How do you manage it? What would be your tips for somebody who wants to do it all but is confused?
Honestly, I mean, every other woman is really doing it. Who am I to give a tip to another successful woman? Because I believe that everyone who does things with their own strength is a successful person, really. How do I do it? It's simple, that my children really, they don't make much demand of me. So as a mother, I do whatever I do out of love. I have a duty towards them as well. So it's all about doing everything really and prioritizing what is important at that point of time and giving your attention the most over there. So when my children are okay, then I give that much more to my work. And when my children need me more, then I just give my attention that way. That's how I manage. So that's really how I balance.
Excellent. It's such an honor hearing you and watching you and your journey. It's such a pleasure. Now, coming back to, I think, a very important thing is that it's just not the women, but I think the men in life, in our lives, are also equally important. How do you look at them, and how grateful are you to them for the regular advice? Or is it that they are just not giving you any advice right now because you know it all? How would you like to share this part of your life?
I think you've said the most important point. And I'd also like to make it very clear they're not giving me any advice is not true at all. They're always giving me advice, especially when I don't want it. But nonetheless, my dad today, if I have a entrepreneurial mindset, it's completely because of him. And he's taught me aspects of business which are not just management. It's the attitude, it's the way of thinking, it's how you move with everyone along with you. So all the more finer things of life that are associated with business, I've learned all that from my dad. From my husband, of course, he's been my biggest advocate. Whatever work I do is all thanks to him. In a way, he's also been my mentor. So he's taught me a lot of things. And so has my father in law. He's been very, very supportive right from the very beginning. And also my uncle. So I come from a very close knit family. And I think each and every one of them have contributed very significantly in their own way in teaching me, shaping me, guiding me to doing what I do today.
While you were growing up, two sisters and a father like Mujumdar sir, do you remember some key advice or principles that he shared which you always will hold on to? Because this is Shona Kotha Shona. Words that are golden should remain pure forever. So, would love to know in your life which are the golden words which are most precious and will always stay with you.
My sisters and me, we are very close and they are my strongest supporters. One is a businesswoman herself who's taking care of my father's business, and the other is a very successful cardiothoracic surgeon. And growing up, it's not just one advice, really, it's many, many things. But it's always been that my father's always said that believe in your dreams and imagine fears destroy dreams. So always take one step at a time and never give up, because this is one line I constantly remember: when the going gets tough, the tough gets going. That's one thing he would keep telling all three of us. So that's like literally ingrained in our minds.
Super. This year is about give to gain, and you are somebody who's always had this attitude of gratitude. When this year is talking about giving and gaining, I kept remembering the message that you keep sharing and the words that you always believe. If you want to give an advice to younger girls who are growing up and looking up to you, but they have that doubt and fear, how do they overcome that? What would be your advice that you would give to them for them to gain the message of life?
If you have a dream, it's the only thing that really matters, how you fulfill that dream. Doubts and fears are only very natural, but at the end of the day, break it down into small parts and take one thing at a time. And you have to have like a checklist that what is the most priority that you need to focus on, and then the second, because planning and being meticulous really helps in the long run to achieve your dream, and there is no shortcut to success. So of course, if you're planned and you know what you want to do, dreams and fears are but natural. You just have to think of your dream again, what you want to do, and then know what you want to do next, and that's the only way to overcome it.
Excellent. Now there are so many things that we would want to know from you, because you are actually ruling a man's world, because the corporate boardrooms are essentially very men centric. So what are the leadership skills one need to imbibe to be future ready? Would love to take your advice on that.
I think it's very important to listen, to observe, to be patient, and then formulate a way forward. Because if you don't know what it is that the other person wants, if you don't understand how they think, how they feel, then it's very difficult to put your point across, because communication is really key to how you want to place yourself and how you want to place your point across to someone in order for them to really take you seriously and what needs to be done according to you. So listening and patience, because nothing happens really easily, you have to keep at it. So I say that it's also diligence, And yeah, communication I feel is the most important thing in leadership. The ability to listen and then at the right place convey the right message.
You are, I think by the time we are playing this interview and people are learning about it, more about you, the 200th store will already be inaugurated. So you, as you are touching the 200th and the millions and billions more, what has been the change that you have observed in the consumer mindset, especially when it comes to women and buying for themselves or their family? What has been your personal experience and personal feedback on this? The changing behavior of women and girls.
So I think the most prominent change which I can see is that people have learned to identify themselves better nowadays. They don't really live in the shadow of other people. They're very clear about their identity. So whatever is identity driven, what they believe in, whatever is authentic, and they can relate to that, they go for that. And of course passion does continue to drive people's choices, but I think today it's more about personal identity more than ever that drives the consumer mindset of customers.
Would love to take your advice on young girls who are probably getting some pocket money or maybe making some money from their first tuition classes that they might give. A little saving can actually yield a lot if saved correctly. So, as a successful woman yourself, what advice would you like to give to the young girls waiting to be women? The importance of saving early and starting to save early in life.
So this is something which I do myself. I've always believed that any asset that you own is always a long term and a great investment. I've always bought gold myself, so I will advise my DigiGold app is the best platform where you can check the gold real time and you can start investing in your with whatever pocket money, extra money you have, or even savings, and silver too, because silver has also, if you see, has risen a lot. So these are long term ways in which you can actually make yourself asset investment wisely. And also we are very fortunate that we are women because we can wear our assets. I always believe that. So there's never any end to wanting to wear good jewelry no matter your age. So yeah, so this is for me, this is what I believe in myself.
Amazing. Because we are in this really digitalized world where the patience level is kind of constantly receding. You are a mother yourself of teenage boys at home. What would be your tips and suggestions for parents and also for children at home? How do they kind of create their inner self in a way that they are future ready? Because the world is not what the virtual is, but the reality is very different. So we are all living in a very different time. So what are the key advices that you give? Because I know you are someone who would always pass out golden words. Would love to hear what you share.
Really, Rupsha, thank you for having such great faith in me. But every mother out there is fabulous and knows what's right for their kids. While it's no doubt that our children live in a very digitalized age, and it's important that they know digital world very well because that is their future. But at the same time, I will say read a good book that can really help you grow your mind and makes you future ready, because I think the art of reading a book is something which is unfortunately going away, and your imagination gets engaged. And when your imagination is engaged, that's when you grow up with a mindset of creativity. And I don't just mean creativity in terms of designs. When you have a problem, creative solutions really get you out of those situations. So reading books enhances your mind, and that's the best way for personal growth.
Would you like to name a book or two that have really influenced your life?
So, I think in my childhood, I read this series of books called the Mallory Tales, and it's about a group of girls who go to a boarding school, and then the author Enid Blyton really describes different kinds of girls, and somehow I loved the girl who was very feisty, and she knew how to manage the people around her and get things done. And I remember really being fascinated by how she would tackle any situation, and I love that. And I think I was like, okay, I also want to be that. So I think that really somehow shaped my mind.
It must have had a huge reflection because that's who you are. Feisty and everything possible. So before we get into a quick round of rapid fire, would love to know that any decision when you were taking that, there were a lot of doubts. People were maybe not very yes about it, but glad you took it. And today, on the occasion of Women's Day, you would like to share that little story, a decision you took, which maybe had some doubts then, but you are so glad you took it.
I think it's around the time when I got married and I was being groomed to take over the real estate business. And then my father said that maybe I should join my husband's business because he doesn't have anyone else to really, support him in his generation. And for me, that was a bit of a, shock because you're always taught to think one way all your life, and then suddenly there's a change. And so I had faith in what my dad had to tell me, and I took that step, and I think that's what's led me to where I am today.
And that's what has led the brand to its 200th plus journey worldwide. And
So it's not me alone.
of
It's
course,
equally my husband's contribution.
absolutely. But because it's Women's Day, ma'am, we are definitely celebrating you, and we know how both of you all make everything possible. Of course, with the prayers of and all the best things that you all do, the blessings of the Almighty. We'll get into a
Yes.
quick rapid fire. What is your definition of women? If I ask you this one word, women in 2026, how do you define it today?
Dynamic.
A trait of yours which you know is the purest 24 karat gold that you have. A trait which is as pure as solid gold.
Compassion.
What is your definition of a successful leader?
A successful leader is one who has the ability to lead with understanding, who has the ability to lead with conviction, has the ability to listen, and is flexible in their way of thinking to adjust to changes and situations.
How do you handle when pressure peaks?
How do I handle when pressure peaks? I don't know. I'm all the time under pressure. So I just learn to prioritize what needs to be done immediately. And best way forward is always planning because there are certain repetitive things which keep happening throughout the year. So if you're planned for those, then anything which crops up unexpectedly, you are able to manage both. So planning is the key for managing pressure.
While girls are growing up, what do you think are the key foundation, the pillars of their foundation which are most vital? Especially girls growing into women, what would be your main foundations that you would like to emphasize?
Of course, having faith and belief in yourself, and very importantly, to be very well informed, to know what you want to do, and make yourself the best and the most knowledgeable person in that topic or in that field or whatever it is you wish to do. And of course, being adaptable enough that when change comes, how can you adapt it to that change and move forward? And innovation.
You have really diversified the way Senco Gold and Diamonds was perceived, and the legacy is just growing deeper, especially with Senes, another great venture of yours. So, with so many new ideas, how do you retain the roots of legacy while stepping into the modern world and ensuring that the world is yours? What has been the secret?
So, you see, you have to understand that legacy is the root, which is for us, which is our karigari, and then time brings with it a different mindset, a different language that you have to understand. So, innovation and being rooted to where you come from, your origin, that balance is what keeps me going. And I think innovation is very, very important in today's day and time because the markets are changing much faster than they used to even 5 years ago. So either you're with it or you're left out. So there is no middle path. So, innovation is, I believe, something which has always driven me to do what I do.
A food Joita Sen loves so much that even if she's super full, if it's placed in front of her, she's going to have a bite. Your most favorite food?
Biryani,
Is it mutton or chicken?
mutton.
This imagination of a mutton biryani, the steam and the potato, especially the love for Kolkata biryani, is I think universal. When you travel the world, because you have traveled the world, what has been the place where you can go back to again and again without feeling bored?
Puri, because that's a place we went to so many times as a child. So I always associate that place with like a second home or a place where I feel my most calmest and peaceful. So Puri is one place I can keep going back to, and I feel that the beach is unlike anything else in the world. I love the way the water just, moves and flows around me.
We love your humility and your simplicity because this is what I think makes you you. You could have just named any part of the world, but this is what makes you a truly beautiful soul. Now, because it's Women's Day and we all know that Senko Golden Diamonds celebrates women every day, it's just not one day a year. But this year, what has been the most special thing that you have done? Would love to know from you because I know everything is a part of your vision and your dreams.
This year we have come up with a new campaign, or rather a new concept called the Shape of You, because this year we noticed that it's all about identity and we encourage women to have their own identity. The Shape of You is about understanding the shape of your face and then accordingly selecting jewelry that enhances how you look and how you feel in that jewelry. So that is what we've done special and different this year. It's innovation and technology based.
Innovation and something which is for everybody. You know, there is a shape that is there. You just don't know what is right for you till you walk into the Senko store or visit Senko Goals online. So I think this is such a beautiful way, the way you ensure that there is a little for everybody and there is something for the world. While we are wrapping up, what is that one advice that you would like to give to your younger self, if there was any?
I would tell myself that don't stress so much. Everything's going to be all right, and you don't have to be such a big perfectionist. Things fall into place regardless, and there is a greater plan, and you just have to walk the road that God has intended for you. And life is full of surprises, and you just have to learn to accept it and adapt and enjoy it. I think that's most important. That's what I would definitely tell myself.
That's so perfect, and because it's International Women's Day, what would be your message for everybody? All the women, all the girls, and all the people of the world.
I will say that first and foremost, we need to be kinder to ourselves. We need to accept ourselves for who we are. No matter who you are, what you do, you are beautiful. Love yourself. Because if you don't love yourself the most, very few people really will. So be very kind to yourself.
Thank you so very much, ma'am, for your most precious time. And I must thank the Almighty and all the people who have been there to support this journey. And I must say that only because of you, this journey is possible. And I remember how, with your imagination, you ensured that everything was possible inside a store because the moment you had discussed Family Number One, the game show that we do, I had no idea how to conduct it in a store. Because whenever we think of things, we think larger than life. But you are somebody who always knows what's best for your family members of Senko because you don't call them customers, I know. And let me tell you that each time I do an episode, if only I could show you all the smiles and goosebumps that we collect and all the hugs I get only because of you and Senko Golden Diamonds. It is a blessing and thank you on behalf of all.
It's not just my credit alone. I just love how you really build me up so much more. The truth is that ideation may have been mine, but execution is equally important. You've done a fabulous job of bringing people together and giving them that moment of enjoyment and pleasure. So really, it's a great credit to you as well. because I truly believe that it's always teamwork, because without your team and without each other's support and ideation and execution, nothing can truly be achieved.
Absolutely. Thank you so very much, ma'am. Always stay the best you can, because you are truly an inspiration, and may all you wish just come and hug you, and everything that you want to achieve just rush to you soon, and everything best should happen to you. And thank you once again for sharing this time, especially on the occasion of International Women's Day. Celebrating you was such an honor.
Thank you for
Sharing.
having me here today.
Thank you so very much, ma'am. Stay best, and happy International Women's Day to you.
Thank you. Happy International Women's Day to each and every one of you, not just today, but each and every day for the rest of the year as well.
Absolutely. And I would extend my gratitude to your mother, your sister, your mother in law, and all the women around you who ensure that you shine and soar higher and highest. And thank you so very much to sir also, and the senior sir, and everybody. Thank you so very much. I think this has been a great moment sharing with you. Thank you so very much, ma'am. Happy
Thank
Women's
you.
Day.
I will definitely pass on your wishes, because truly without their support, I think life would be extremely difficult for me. And I truly value them, because without the support of other women in my life, and I think in others' life as well, life would be very difficult for each and every one of us. So thank you, Rupsha. I will convey your wishes to them.
Thank you so very much, ma'am. Thank you so much.
For years, women have matched jewelry with outfits. But not every piece looks as good when worn as it is on the prop. Why? Because each face is unique. That's why at Senco Gold and Diamonds, we have created Shape of You, where we help you choose jewelry that complements the shape of your face. For example, round face shines in angular designs, while softer curves flatter square faces. Triangular faces, perfect for teardrops. Oblong face looks amazing in chandelier. Oval and heart shape, almost any design works. At Senco Gold and Diamonds, our 85-year legacy of trust comes from mastering karigari, impeccable craftsmanship that turns jewelry into treasured heirloom. Because the right jewelry doesn't just match your outfit, it celebrates you. That's the Senco difference. That's the shape of you. Don't just wear the jewelry, own it. Own it for you.